What's up YouTube, it's Heretic here, and welcome back. Today we are looking at a new standard format version of the Rainbow Road Xerneas deck for the post-rotation Primal Clash and on. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get right into this. This deck focuses mainly on Xerneas from Breakthrough with the Rainbow Force attack. Requiring 1 fairy and 2 colorless energy, Rainbow Force deals 10 damage plus 30 more damage for each different type of Pokemon on your bench. Now, with 120 HP, you can usually take a hit, and with Rainbow Force, you can do an awful lot of damage for very little. As this 3 energy cost is pretty easy to fulfill. 1 fairy, a double colorless, and boom, you're going. So what do we have to support him? Well, we got a lot of different types of stuff, and a lot of things that are also colorless energy compatible or serve a purpose in one way or another. So our first supporting attacker is Zoroark, who serves as a dark type on the bench as well as just anytime. The stand-in ability allows you to switch Zoroark with your active Pokemon from the bench once per turn, and then if you attach a Float Stone, you can just free retreat, use him as a free switch every turn. And then of course he has Mind Jack, which does 10 plus 30 more for each Pokemon on your opponent's bench, so Rayquaza matchups and all that stuff, or anything that's weak to dark, you can just kind of take it down real quickly. Also just an all-around solid alternative attacker as it goes. We've also got a 2-1 line of Raichu. Raichu does a very similar, or serves a very similar purpose attack-wise as Xerneas, only rather than doing more damage for different types of Pokemon, he simply does 20 damage times the number of Pokemon you have on your bench. So, since we're already working on having a big bench with this deck, it doesn't hurt to have Raichu, and once again, fulfilling another different type. We also have Mew, whose Memories of Dawn ability allows it to copy the attacks of any of our basic Pokemon in play, as long as we still have the energy. Mainly, this is going to be Xerneas and our next card, Jirachi. So Mew can take advantage of that and hit for weakness on those things that are weak to Psychic. If you hit like a Mega Mewtwo or something. And Jirachi, as I mentioned, can also take advantage of this with Mew. Stardust for 1 colorless, 10 damage, discard a special energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon, and then if you do, Jirachi becomes invulnerable to all effective attacks, including damage during your opponent's next turn. So those are our attackers, and so we cover a handful of types there: Fairy, Darkness, Lightning, Psychic. We also have a Volcanion-EX, which we can't use its ability or its attack, but it does provide 2 types in a single Pokemon, which means we don't need Skyfield to break the 190 HP barrier that is Zygarde-EX or any of the many 170s and 180s that are likely to come back into play post-rotation. However, that doesn't mean we won't run Skyfield, since Mega Evolutions are a thing, but rather Volcanion gives us a plus 60 damage instead of 30 by putting it on the bench for Xerneas' Rainbow Force attack. We also have Carbink, which has Safeguard to shield against some EXs and force your opponent to Hex Maniac to get out of it. So it's really just mainly a staller, as well as another type we can put on our bench to buff up Rainbow Force. Definitely serving its purpose, however. And then finally we have 2 Shaymin-EX, because draw power is draw power, and you kind of need that. Plus it gives us yet another type in its colorless typing. So all in all, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 typings when you include the double typing of Volcanion, which means you can max out at 280 damage with Rainbow Force, as you could conceivably get all 9 typings onto the bench at one time with a Skyfield, due to, once again, Volcanion carrying 2 of those types on a single card. So pretty unique and fun concept we got going on here. It's a pretty cool deck. I have always thought so. The expanded version is obviously different, but I think this will be a big player going forward in post-rotation standard format. Item cards, we've got 1 Super Rod to get our resources back. Maybe a Pokemon gets knocked out, maybe we need some energy back, etc., etc. Then we got 3 Max Elixirs for energy acceleration, 3 Ultra Ball, and 3 VS Seeker. Just Ultra Ball and VS Seeker pretty much self-explanatory for Pokemon Surge and supporter reuse. Supporter-wise, we got 2 copies of Bridget. This is a great card early game, first or second turn. It's also a great reason to use a really cool-looking full-art supporter that we haven't really gotten to do much with. Bridget allows you to pull 3 basic Pokemon or 1 basic Pokemon EX from your deck and throw them right onto your bench. So most of the time you're going to grab like a Xerneas and then maybe a Pikachu and a Zorua, or maybe you're getting Mew or Jirachi depending on your matchup. Pretty much any of these non-EXs usually going to be the target. Sometimes you might want to go and pull a Volcanion, but for the most part, you're going to be grabbing 3 non-EXs with it. We also have Hex-Maniac to shut down abilities for a turn, attack through stuff, and Pokemon Ranger for a very similar purpose, mainly to get around Jolteon and one-shot it with Xerneas. We could also attack Jolteon with Raichu and Zoroark. So just kind of work however you want to with that. You got 2 Lysanders to pick and choose KOs and take out important stuff, 2 Ends for shuffle draw, 4 Sycamores for mass draw power, and then 1 Teammates because so many of our Pokemon are single prizers, so we might as well take advantage of that. Then lastly, 2 Skyfields to buff up our bench. Only 2 because it's not mandatory, since you can get 190 damage simply by having Volcanion included in a full bench of different types of Pokemon. And then we have 1 EXP share for more Pseudo Energy Excel, 2 Float Stones for free retreating and free switch outs every turn if you get it on a Zoroark, then 4 double colorless and 8 fairy energy, so just enough energy to work with the max elixirs. And so that's the list, based once again around this guy, so we're going to go ahead and take it into play and see how it does. Alrighty. Hey, a Lugia coin. I like it. So let's get going. Woot woot. Flipperoonie. No. Alrighty. So we're going to play second. See if we can't get that first turn attack. Alright, so... Yuck. Yeah, this is kind of gross. We'll start the Jirachi. And I guess we got a Xerneas here for the bench. Zubat. Alright. Bats. And bats. And more bats. Oh, Mega Man bats. Interesting. I remember doing that at one point. So he's going to go grab a Hoopa. And Master of the Beats is going to come down and let some stuff out. So we're going to see Manectric, Seismitoad, and Shaymin. So Mega Manectric, Seismitoad, Bats. Interesting. So just Toad Bats, I guess, with Mega Manectric. With Manectric, yeah, I could see it, but with Megas... Okay, so this will be interesting. Hopefully we don't become too much of a victim to the item lock. He gets heads here on Super Scoop Up, so... Just, oh, I mean, with Manectric, I guess we already knew. We're not playing the same format here. So we get another Shaymin here. Manectric comes up to the active spot. We'll see what else he's able to land here. Throws a Hex-Maniac at us, which is going to be a little bit frustrating. We do draw a Sycamore, however, so we can go ahead, throw a double colorless onto Xerneas here, and we're just going to pass. Maybe we'll be able to get something going here. We do see a Golbat, so 20 damage goes on to our Xerneas. Water energy goes on to Manectric, which means that Jirachi's about to get wiped. Throws a couple more cards with Sycamore. And he plays a Skyfield, so he's going to play it for us. Okay. See another Ultra Ball here, so probably either another Zubat or Mega Manectric. Regular Manectric and AZ get discarded. Another Zubat. And so let's see here. Sacred Ash looks like. Alright. So many cards that are rotating. And an Assault Laser is going to knock us out. So that'll be 1 Pokemon down, and we're going to be left with Xerneas. So we draw. Unfortunately, it's another energy that we can't use. We'll bench the Shaymin. Get the 2 cards. Hopefully they won't screw us. Oh, no! They screwed us! Ugh. Couldn't have really done it any worse. Oh my goodness. Such garbage. Alright, so we're going to get Azoroa down. Let's do that. Let's do... Actually, I'm going to do it this way because I don't know if we're getting item locked here in a sec. So let's do all of that. Let's grab the other Shaymin. And you know what? Let's just do this. Just go and get everything out of here. We'll get Volcanion out while we're at it. So now we got 4 types. So we need 2 more. Pikachu. Got Mew. And then we can go Ultra Ball with these two. We don't have another Shaymin, unfortunately, so we'll go with the next best thing. We get the card bank against a field of EXs. And then we're going to Rainbow Force here for a knockout. Get out of here. Alright, so we hit a Fairy Energy and a Xerneas, so pretty much what we want to hit, other than maybe a Sycamore. Water Energy goes on to Toad. I'm okay with that, because it's not a double colorless. So Rough Seas comes down, and that's going to knock a couple of things off of our bench. We're just going to go ahead and let these Shaymins go, because we really don't need them. Keep everything else, and still be able to hit enough damage to one-shot anything on his board. And just a pass of the turn. Yikes. Alright, so about the only negative now is we can't bench this Xerneas. That does kind of stink. But otherwise, we're in decent shape here. So I think what we're going to do in this instance then, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and attach an energy to the Mew, and then we're just going to use Rainbow Force again. Because when this thing gets knocked out, we can just bench the Xerneas and attack with the Mew. So we do draw a VS Seeker, that's good to see, although we're about to get Quaking Punched. And what is his... Oh, it is 3. Oh, I don't like that. If it was 2, I'd be a lot more comfortable with this whole thing. Because there's the Lysander, yep. Kind of had a feeling. So we're going to take a Quaking Punch here, and now we're basically left just kind of sitting here with nothing to do. We can Lysander him, though. So let's do that. Let's Lysander out the Hoopa. See if we can't make something happen. We'll also throw an energy on the Mew. Get that thing ready for a Rainbow Spear. And Super Scoo. Okay, good. Glad to see it. Ah, he's got the AZ. He's going to end us instead. Okay. Figure for sure he was going for the AZ there. Okay. So we get the Zoroark. Here's an Ultra Ball. Crobat and Mega Manectric go to the discard. Grabs a regular Manectric. Still have not seen a double colorless energy, which is kind of interesting. Is there one down here? Nope. So just an attachment to Manectric, and that's it. So we're going to get Zoroark out now. Unfortunately, we can't get out of the active, which is kind of frustrating. But I think we're actually just going to hold what we have here and pass the turn, since we have 2 Rainbow Forcers ready to go. And maybe, just maybe, he won't draw anything. So another energy onto Manectric, and a pass of the turn. We don't draw much here, though. So I think I'm just gonna... do we want to Hex? I really don't see a point to Hexing right now. If he evolves into Golbat, I could definitely see it. But right now, I don't think there's much need for it. We do have an EXP share here now. But not really much we can do. I mean, again, like I said, we could Skyfield and bench the Xerneas and or go for the Bridget, but that's about it. But, he gets heads on the Super Scoop Up. So he brings the Hoopa back to his hand, brings out the Seismitoad, and we're going to get bitten now by this stupid Seismitoad-EX. And he goes and grabs a Golbat while he's at it. So Golbat's going to put 20 damage down on... Okay, so he's going to put it on Xerneas, which is an interesting choice. I would have thought he was going to go for the Mew knockout. We're going to take 60 from Quaking Punch, and we draw into not much. So he can go ahead and take this knockout. We'll have to use Bridget and Skyfield to return the KO on our turn. Instead, he chooses not to do an attack. So interesting that he would choose to not to attack us. Okay, so this has 80 HP left. But he also, in choosing not to attack us, he also, more importantly, did not item lock us. So we can do an Ultra Ball now. We can throw a Hex Maniac and Oh man, what else do you get rid of here? I guess we can get rid of this Xerneas. Let's see, so we've still got another Xerneas, a Pikachu, two of them actually, and a Pikachu. Alright, we got a Floatstone in the deck. Got Super Rods. We've definitely got things we can work with. Probably just take another Xerneas. Might seem kind of silly to burn cards like that, but really I just think to try and see here. And we're just going to go ahead and pass again. Trying to figure out why he didn't knock us out last turn, because it's not like he's going to be able to deck us here. He's actually in a lower spot. So instead he goes for an N. So he's going to N us back down to 3. Get 5 cards for himself. Maybe he's trying to set up Mega Manectric. I'm not really sure. So there's the Crobat. So he gets 30 damage on the Mew. There's a Floatstone on Seismitoad. So okay, so he can now Skill Dive. So he's going to work around the Volcanion now. Get a knockout. Oh, we need that Super Rod real bad. And we didn't draw it. Ugh. This is pretty gross. So we're going to put an energy down onto this guy. Gonna put another Xerneas down and simply pass again. If we could just get that Floatstone for stand-in, that would have been beautiful. So we see the Spirit Link now, and he's going to just do another Skill Dive here. But we'll be able to use Zoroark to knock out Crobat. Puts 30 damage on our new Xerneas. So we can go Energy here, EXP share over here, and then we can stand in and do a Mind Jack here for a knockout. Get that stupid thing out of there and finally get out of that Volcanion lock. And we actually should have used the Rough Seas. I don't know why we haven't been doing that, because he is a water type. So we get Startling Megaphone out of our EXP share there. But we could pay the retreat cost here and take the game, so that's what we're going to do. We'll use this to be cute because we can. And then we'll Rainbow Force him for the knockout. Good night. That's what you get for not KOing Volcanion. So we will win the game and go on. So we're going to definitely do at least one more here, see how that goes. But a little bit of misplaying and not using Rough Seas, definitely. But we were able to come out on top. You can see how the extra 30 damage provided by Volcanion-EX was really instrumental into being able to get OHKOs there. And also we were able to take advantage of Zoroark to claim to claim an extra knockout there as well. So pretty potent combination we got running here, and we'll try it out again. Okay, so a pure water deck. Woo! Maybe Greninja. That's about what I could think of right now. So we'll go first. Let's see if we can't make something happen. Okay. Well, I guess that's what we're starting with. It could be worse. I will point that out. So, we're going to lead a Zorua. We could always retreat it. So, our opponent's going to flip over a Seismitoad. So, we're going to go Xerneas, Zorua, double colorless, Shaymin. Alright, so we're going to get Zoroark, a Fairy Energy. Alright, so we'll put another Xerneas down. That's fine. And I think we're going to wait on the Sycamore. Let's see what happens here. Maybe we'll end up just going double colorless Zoroark here. So we see an Ultra Ball. 2 N's. Alrighty. I suppose I can get along with that. And so there's a Froakie. Now that's something I've been seeing a lot of here lately, is kind of water box Seismitoad hybrid-ish kind of deals going on. Mainly just Greninja box. Mainly just a lot of Greninja decks that are including Seismitoad. You see he's playing a Crushing Hammer here though. So he's going to take our double colorless from us and put us with a much worse hand. So not really what I want to have in hand here, but we can try to make it work here. Let's go ahead and put that down. Really don't like having to throw that Super Rod out, though. Alright. So we get Jirachi. We get a Max Elixir, which we can use here. Oh, that's not going to work. Alright. So we'll put a Pikachu down. And we can go ahead and throw that down as well. So that's going to be the turn, I guess, right there. Got a couple of options available. We're going to get item locked here, too. Be pretty surprised if we didn't. So we see Dive Balls. Probably, yeah, okay, Frogadier. He could go for the water duplicates, I guess. Still think it's interesting to see Seismitoad in these decks. So he's going to VS Seeker for the N and play it, which is okay. I mean, like, we had a playable hand, but it's kind of whatever. Okay, so we got Raichu. Not much else going our way here. If he gets the Rough Seas, we're going to be in a not-so-great spot. Alright, so instead we just take the Quaking Punch. But that's going to lock our items out, which is kind of a problem here. Now, we do draw the Zoroark, so we could use Rush In. Get the Zoroark. We've also got the Raichu here, and then we could play Lysander, force up the Frogadier, and see if maybe can't draw some stuff with this Shaymin here. Alright, so we do get into the Professor Sycamore for next turn. So for now, let's see, do we want to just stand it? You know what? I'm just going to let that one get knocked out. Okay, so there's Greninja, so now he's got free retreat, so we can go right back into Toad. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 types. So we're hitting 160. We're going to get an extra spot here on the bench, though. So an energy goes on to Greninja after it retreats. And he plays a Sycamore, so come on. Do not hit the Rough Seas. How many break? 2 Greninja breaks. Okay, yep. So just a Quaking Punch. No problem there. That's fine. We're going to lose our Float Stones, which, I'm not going to lie, that sucks. But I'll try to make something better out of it. Can't have a handful of items against a Toad. And, of course, we whiff just completely. So, let's see here. We could try to use the Carbink. I think I'm just going to go with the Mew for now. And we'll get another energy there. Ugh. It's so gross. We can't hit a double colorless. So an Ultra Ball again. 2 Frogadiers. So we're seeing all of the frogs pretty much just kind of getting thrown. He does go and get the Greninja break. So that'll come into play. A 3rd energy goes on to Seismitoad, and then we see a Sycamore. So it looks like he's just kind of aiming for that single copy. Oh, never mind. Here come the frogs. 2 Frogadiers and a break, Greninja break. So that's going to leave him with only 1 of each in the discard. So it looked like he was only going to go for the 1 frog, but then of course the Super Rod just able to put all that stuff back, and now we'll probably see a... Okay, maybe not. I was about to say a Grenade Hammer, but I guess not. So again, we're just going to... I mean, we're having to throw stuff away that we really don't want to be throwing away here. But we do hit our double colorless finally. So we can go ahead and attach that. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 types. So we're doing enough damage now here with Rainbow Force. So we can take that one out, claim a couple of prize cards, and finally break the stupid item lock. And we're probably going to end up getting 2 things knocked out here, because a Moonlight Slash and a Giant Water Shuriken could take out... He can take out Mew or Jirachi, probably Mew, I think, in this case, and then KO our Xerneas as well. So we're going to have to Ultra Ball here and hope that we've got something left in the deck. He also attaches a Bursting Balloon. So no, what's it called? Giant Water Shuriken. Interesting. So we can bring the Mew up temporarily. And we're going to get, let's see, we've got another Xerneas there. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but he's got way too much HP for that. So we're just going to attach here. And we can take the 60 damage from the bursting balloon, knock that thing out, get over that 170 HP hump there. And so I guess at this point really now just waiting for either the Wally into another break or the N. We do see Dive Ball to pull a regular Greninja from the deck. And if he ends on a regular Greninja, we can use Raichu to take a knockout here, which is going to be a pretty nice luxury to have. So he does attach the energy. We do see the Moonlight Slash, so he's going to bounce the energy back, knock out Xerneas. But we're going to be able to use Raichu here to Circle Circuit for a KO. So we've still got 6 on the bench. We can bench this Pikachu or the Xerneas, either one. So we might as well just throw that down. And then we can attach a double colorless here and go straight into Circle Circuit. Take that out. And get another prize card that way. And now, if he doesn't knock us out here with a Wally Evolution or a Rare Candy or something or other, then we'll be able to start charging up another Xerneas. So he goes ahead and just kind of picks it up right there, knowing that we're going to get another KO, and he's basically falling behind at this point. So Raichu kind of comes in late and cleans up, and it's real good at that, you know, taking advantage of those big benches. So that's another one down, and we're going to go ahead and do one more, I think, just to kind of make this thing known. But 2 games down, so cheers to that, and let's go do one final one. Psychic and a whole bunch of Volcanion-ish types. Alrighty. Oh, we won the coin flip again. That's cool. I would love to go first. Okay, so it looks like we're starting with a Pikachu. We do run a 2-1 line, so if we lose one, it's not too big a deal. Would love to make room for that second Raichu, though, after the way it's been playtesting. You guys saw that last game. Oh, he's got the good-looking Volcanion. Yeah, that's the one we got. I like that guy. I'm going to put him on the bench. And I don't really think it's worth doing the Shaymin here for 1 card, so instead I think we're just going to go with this N. Keep our double colorless, keep our Shaymin, and try to draw into a better hand, which we're going to fail to do so. So we'll go ahead and bench the Pikachu, and we can throw Fairy Energy on there. That's about it for now. Maybe be able to Lysander up the Volcanion-EX here if something happens, depending on how this goes. So we're going to see a Steam Up here, so he's going to get a plus 30 on his attack. Fortunately, we have 60 HP. So he'll need a belt or a muscle band. If he's playing post-rotation, it will have to be a Fighting Fury belt. Or, I guess, a Giovanni Scheme. So we see Shaymin, set up for 3. And here's a Max Elixir, so I'll try to charge up Volcanion-EX and gets 1 energy there. See another baby Volcanion come down. And a Professor Sycamore, so he does manage to get another fire in his discard pile. Also a Combat Blaze Entei. Interesting. Not bad. And so we get Power Heater for 50 damage here, and he'll get an energy on the EX Volcanion and 1 on one of the baby Volcanions as well. So we draw a Zoroark, which is basically useless, so we can just play a Skyfield here and Professor Sycamore. Alright, so we get Raichu. Not bad. Get a Jirachi here. And we're gonna tool around here a little bit. We're gonna play around and try to nuzzle, and that's not gonna work. So yeah, that gang of Pikachu's not able to nuzzle Volcanion into paralysis. Public service announcement. Full Art Sycamore. Crazy stuff. Alright. Note to self, don't do that when their trainer's mailing. So Delinquent is going to send our stadium, and we're going to lose 3 cards. I'm going to let these 3 go and just let VS Seeker be VS Seeker. That does run us out of Skyfields for the game, though. So Volcanion, you are my man for this. Kind of counting on you here. So, an Ultra Ball here, he discards a Shaymin, and it looked like a Hex Maniac. So, I'm guessing, yep, another Volcanion-EX. So, he attaches one to the other baby Volcanion, and can use Power Heater here for 20, which is enough to knock us out. Does he have an energy? No, he does not. Alright. So, we can bring up our free retreating Raichu. And we'll draw one. Oh, that's not bad. Not sure if that's what I want right now, though. It'd be good if I had another turn to set up, I think, to play Bridget here, but I think we're just going to have to go with Sycamore. Oh my goodness. Why? Let's do that. Okay. Let's do Xerneas. And then we'll do another one for a Shaymin. Oh, that's way too much. That's not good. Alright, so let's get another Shaymin play. And okay. So that's going to set us up in a decent spot, I guess. Can we hit this elixir? Yes, we can. That's big. You have a Lysander? I do have a Lysander down there. That is awesome. And, alright, let's see here. We can do Zorua. And we'll just retreat into, I think, Jirachi. Let him have that knockout. And I'm good passing here. Next turn we'll be able to go Energy, bench Carbink if necessary, and then just blow the Volcanion-EX right to smithereens. So we're going to see a Steam up here. And a second one. Now, the damage was only really needed from one of them, but by using both, he can then turn around and Power Heater and get 2 Energy Excels here. So we see a Max Elixir, and he gets an energy onto the other Volcanion-EX, which is pretty much what we didn't want to see. So an energy there and an energy there. So we gotta hope he doesn't have an energy in his hand now. We do have Carbink, which can kind of chill out on the bench for a bit. We draw another VS Seeker. Always good to see that. So we're gonna go grab that Lysander out of our discard pile now. We're gonna bring this one up. Throw the double colorless back here. And free retreat. So we can get Rainbow Force here for a knockout. 190. And that'll get us a couple of prize cards. So we get the teammates, which is a pretty big deal. And then we also get a Mew. So not too bad. And now we gotta hope he doesn't have another fire. But since he's bringing that thing up, I'm guessing he does. And there's a VS Seeker for a Sycamore, so okay. How tough is it to draw a fire off that? You probably got energy retrievals and stuff in there. I know I do. So he gets the Fighting Fury Belt, and oh man, okay, that's going to make things a whole nother level of challenging. We're going to take a Volcanic Heat here for 140. How many Fairy Energy? We're down 4. There's a 5th one. Okay, so we still got 3 left. Oh, what can we do with this? Starting to think this Mew is not going to help us as much as we might like. Let's go grab his teammates to go grab the Xerneas and the double colorless. Let's see if we can't hit that Max Elixir. Ah, there it is. Alright. Money. So we'll get a Rainbow Force here for 190. It's not going to be a knockout, but it could put us in position to get a knockout. And it's his attack effect, Volcanic Heat, keeping him from attacking on the next turn. So unless he's got a Pokemon Ranger handy, that's the one thing here. the other thing we could use that could be to our advantage here is if we can get our hands on that second Zoroark. Because we've still got 2 double colorless left in the deck. So he puts down another Fighting Fury Belt. We see a 4th Baby Volcanion and another Professor Sycamore. Alright. So no Pokemon Ranger. Plays a switch. Really hope he doesn't have another one. Okay, so he attaches to the benched Volcanion. We see a Power Heater here for 30. Now he will be able to bring this one up and deal out 100 damage to finish us off, but we will get that Volcanion-EX off the board here, which is a big, big deal. I'm going to get it off of the board with it right here. Lysander off of VS Seeker, and we will finish that thing off. Get out of here. Nobody likes you. Just kidding, I love that card. So we get Max Elixir and Ultra Ball off the prizes. And hopefully we can try to use Raichu, and with, you know, we'll need another energy, and then this VS Seeker for another Lysander on that Shaymin to end this game. That would be the most ideal scenario. And so instead, of course, we're going to get N down to 2 cards, because why wouldn't we? I mean, it seems like the right play on his end. So we get VS Seeker and Zoroark. Okay. You know, I can work with that, because we're going to get blown up here, so... Xerneas dies. We give up a prize card. Now we got to be careful here too, because a Lysander on his end, and he can Steam Artillery our Shaymin right off the board. So, let's see here. We don't have the play to win simply by Lysandering, and we wouldn't have been able to Max Elixir onto him anyway because he's an evolution. So, let's see. Could try to go double colorless Sky Return. How many VS Seekers are we down? 3, so that'd be the 4th one. We do have a second Lysander available. Let's play this. Alright, that's not working. That's fine. So let's go ahead and do that. And now we could end us both to 2, which is not the worst idea. So how was Xerneas able to do more damage? A glitch? So he's asking us how Xerneas was how was Xerneas healed to do more damage? Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do this, and we'll see if... We may have to Sky Return this turn, which... Alright, we do have the cards to do it. That's good to see. And, okay, let's see here. So we can place... Oh, read wrong text. He was reading the second attack, I think. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to place that on Shaymin to try and take away a win con here. We're also going to go Floatstone there. And we'll go... I don't know what to do with this EXP share. I mean, I guess we'll put it here just for retreat purposes. And we will Sky Return into this thing. And we'll give him the Mew. So, Fighting Fury Belt on a Volcanion-EX again. Oh, and there's the bath text. You're going to have to get Axel's bath ready here in a sec. Oh, no, don't end me. Oh, okay. That's not so bad. Oh, there go the Pokemon tools, ladies and gentlemen. Gotta hit that Lysander. Have got to hit that Lysander off of the Shaymin. what is it, 13 cards left. Can bring up Raichu, he's got free retreat. There's the Lysander, alrighty. Got it. I'll take just the 4. Because we don't want to put more cards back in and lower our odds. There's the double colorless, alrighty. That's the game. We can stand in here. And we can bring out Shaymin. And Mindjack will win the game. Woohoo! 160 damage, last 2 prizes, and there's the game. So we take out pure Volcanion in that round. That's another deck that I actually really like. I know I gave you guys a profile on that. I'll probably do a match video or play some games with it on here for you guys soon. Let me know if you'd be interested in that. But for now, that is Rainbow Road post-rotation. Watching Raichu and Zoroark do a little work on the side. Xerneas, just such a monster. 190 damage without even needing the Sky Field is absolutely crazy. So, anyway, that's what I got for you guys right now, and I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers!